And good morning, Savannah and the Low Country. And it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the coach and AD. We're live in the Sound Garden. Well, I'm in the Sound Garden. My man, the AD, Chad Griffin, is watching a little baseball with his son. And once again, it's all on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And Chad, nice to see you. It's kind of lonely back here. A lot of little tweaks before we came on the show. But once again, it's great to be here. And happy Father's Day weekend to everybody, and especially you, Chad Griffin.
Same to you, man. Great. We're up here in Aiken, South Carolina this weekend, getting to play a little baseball. And, Father's Day weekend, man, it's great to be able to spend that with your family and your sons. You got, 3 of your own and 2 boys, and just a great opportunity to be here and watch a little ball. And, so it's it's Saturday morning.
We got to set the lineup first. We got to set the lineup up first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's the lineup. After we do this, after we talk about the crazy world of sports right now, don't forget, segment number 2, we're going to have the Savannah Fellowship of Christian Athlete Area, the Georgia Area Director, the Ambassador to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Baseball, Jason Rockwell, Brad Lane. Then we'll go with the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, the 28th Hollis Stacey Award winner from HV Jenkins High School. We'll talk to BryAnn Pound. Okay, she also is the 3rd Warrior to win that award. And that goes to the most versatile female in the city of Georgia, just like the Ashley Deering Award. Then we're going to have the man that does Friday Night Lights all over the state of Georgia for the Georgia Public Broadcasting System, the sports journalist, the sports correspondent, the sports guru, you want to name him. He's also a big soccer guru, Chad. I know you're going to love to talk to him about that. John Nelson from GPB Sports. And he also does, I think it's Online Sports Guy, too. So he's all over the place. And then we got a special 4th guest today. Another soccer story, which I don't know if many people know about, but the Savannah Spirit Women's Professional Premier League team. We got 3 people coming on. We got the owner, DJ Spissio. Okay, Spissio. Okay, the tough names here, Chad. The first 2 are really tough.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got Chris Davidovic. Did I say that right? Chris Davidovic.
I think you're pretty close.
He's the coach, and then we'll have a player, Jeanette Campbell. So that's the lineup for today's show. And then we take 3 steps out the door. Is it me today or you today? It's me?
You.
Asking you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to come up with 3 questions before we get out of here, so I wasn't sure. Usually I do that pregame, but pregame was kind of hectic. Okay, Chad, world of sports. It's crazy, but we got to talk about what's going on over at the RBC Heritage. No fans, but we got professional golf for the 2nd week in a row. Brian Harmon, Savannah Christian Raider, Georgia Bulldog. He had a great round yesterday. He shot a 67 to make the cut. He's 5 under. He's 7 off the lead. Webb Simpson, another local guy. Okay, he's in the lead at 12 under. Right now, Harmon will tee off in about 7 minutes over there at Harbor Town. So we got that going on, and we got a lot of news about sports. We had a PGA pro
test positive
yesterday, so he's gone, but they're still going to play the tournament. It's crazy. It really is crazy, Chad.
Yeah, it is, Carl. Brian Harmon being over there. Listen, 7 back's not. You get hot today and shoot another 5 under, and the field slows down, you're going to be right in contention there. It's pretty much a home course for him, so he could get hot next 2 days and get up there. PGA really had not had a positive test, and it was so funny. I was watching some of the coverage, and the announcers had just said it. Hey, we've been fortunate not to have a positive test, and there you go. And then now what's happening in college football is getting a little bit worrisome. I think 20 at Clemson, 10 at University of Texas. So you're just wondering now, most of these, if you read the stories, most of them are all asymptomatic cases where they didn't feel bad, they didn't know they had it, things of that nature. And so you just start, we live in this world of sports. We're 2 weeks in, Carl, to the Georgia High School part. Georgia High School came out Wednesday right before we were on the midweek show with Amy Zimmer. And, they increased their groups from 25 to 50 starting Monday with a ball. So
you're allowed to. It's up to the school and the school district.
You're right.
I have not heard one word about Chatham County Athletic Department, what we're doing there. So you might be going 50, but I'm still going to be doing conditioning.
No, we're going to stay for us. I don't know about other schools and other groups. I know us at Calvary, talking to Coach Stroud, We're going to continue just to stay in our 19, that we currently have per just to get through this week. They meet. Coaches are going to meet Sunday to come up with a plan with, hey, how we want to introduce a ball into stuff, if that's what we want to do. But we're not going to expand our groups at all. We're going to stay that way through Dead Week, and hopefully, give us another week through Dead Week, and we'll see what protocols look like after that. And then we're going to know a whole lot more. I'm excited about your show on Wednesday because I'll be coming back from Thomaston with the executive committee meetings. We're there Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So we'll have some stuff to report on from Georgia High School as well come Wednesday night.
All right. Well, we can hear you. Something's going on with your picture right there, buddy. So we can hear you. But, it's going to be exciting. We got a lot going on this week also over at Grayson Stadium. We'll be doing the Savannah FCA 5th Annual All-Star Game on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, on Twitter Live. It's the coach, the AD, and we're going to bring Travis Jordan on. So that's Monday night. Tickets, you can get tickets at Savannah FCA. You got to go online. It's will call. You buy the ticket. You pick them up there. That'll be Monday night. So I'm excited about that too, because that's really the first sporting event we're going to have here, and especially at Grayson Stadium, Chad.
Yeah, back at historic Grayson Stadium and first event back, like I said, we're excited about covering the game, especially for these seniors. Most importantly for these guys who had their season cut short, we get to go in there, call the game for them. Senior recognition, I think about 6:15, if I'm right, Carl. So get there early, fans, get there, support these student athletes, and especially these seniors. It should be a great game. 2 local guys coaching it, and we'll get to dive in that a little bit more here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Jason Rockwell, the Savannah FCA baseball ambassador. We're going to talk to Brad Lane, the Georgia FCA area director. So that's next up. We're going to talk about what's going on with that. And, also our guest, John Nelson. We can find out what's going on up there in the Atlanta area because that's where he's from, Lakeside High School. But he's been covering high school, college, pro sports for 25 years in Georgia. So we'll get his thoughts on what's going up, or we'll find out what's going up on the Atlanta area. So,
you bring that up, Carl. And look, we thought there might be some baseball coming. And then it looks, what in the world is going on with Major League Baseball, Carl?
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. Chicago White Sox, 1919. To me, this is 100 years later, and it's just as bad as what the White Sox did back there in 1919. All right, I got to get off my soapbox here, but there's got to be agreement somewhere. I know the owners, I had this argument the other day, the owners own the team. They're the employer. They make the money. They put the money out to own these teams. They take the risk on paying the bills and all that. The players are the actors. The players are what makes us go watch the sport. They got to come together. We're in such a hurting need right now for something to take off our mind off of what's going on in this crazy world. We're not going to get into the other things that are going on, but come on, guys. 70 games? You can't agree to that, the baseball owners? The baseball players can't agree to 60 games? I'm telling you right now, I'm a baseball fanatic. I've loved baseball since day one. I had a chance. I tried out for the California Angels, didn't make it. I played it almost a couple of games in college. I had to drop out of that too. But my son's been a professional baseball. My son has lived the atrocities that go on in minor league baseball, and they are. And we'll talk about the American players. They got it better than the foreign players, the Latino players. So baseball's killing itself. And I hate to say it, they're going to lose a lot of fans. The question is, Chad Griffin, will they be able to come back if there's no baseball season? Will they be able to come back from this? It's going to be pretty hard this time around. You don't have Mark Millar. You don't have Sammy Sosa. You don't have the New York Yankees winning 114, 120 games, whatever they did that year in 1998. And then, of course, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, but 2001, 9/11 brought us back to baseball because baseball was big right then and there. Football, college football, pro football was just kicking off. It's a tough one for me, and I hate it. I hate it. Will I go back and watch baseball? Probably. I watch Korean baseball every morning. So, Key Whiz, baby. Key Whiz. That's who I love.
Yeah, the hardcore baseball fans, I think, will get upset, but they will be drawn back to the game. But the new kids and new fans coming into the game, they look at it like they are not going to understand or even care about the money aspect They're like, hey, they're just going to see there's millions of dollars here and all this stuff's on the table and no one wants to agree to do it. And I'll go watch something else. Listen, at some point we can talk about what's going on in the NBA. You got some players like, hey, I'm not going to the bubble. I don't want to go to the bubble. I don't care how much you pay me to go to the bubble. So, I mean, we are in a world of sports that has never been seen in anybody's lifetime, Carl. And who knows how it's going to play out.
It's just crazy. I mean, and we got more and more cases of the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic still going on. But then again, a lot more people are getting tested too. So we're going to see a lot more cases. I mean, I had to live it with my younger brother. Yeah, well, I consider my younger brother, even though we're up in our age. I mean, I dealt with him for 2 weeks dealing with the coronavirus, and it was scary, but, he got through it. But, I mean, it's just a crazy time here in our world, and we got to deal with it. So, once again, we got a lot of more positive things to talk about. We got our guest in the waiting room. Next up, we're going to talk the 5th annual Savannah Area Fellowship of Christian Athletes All-Star Game. We have the Georgia Area Director, Brad Lane, and, of course, the Savannah FCA Baseball Ambassador, Jason Rockwell, waiting in the wing. Anything else before we close out this segment, boss?
No, man. I'm getting ready to ask those guys if we're going to talk about any expansion in the programs the FCA are doing.
So, all right, so we'll get to that. Hey, don't forget, Coach's Corner tonight. We have Departure, the Journey tribute band. You love Journey. I love Journey. I mean, go to Eventbrite. They're online. I think it's $25 to $35. It's going to be here tonight. Tomorrow, hey, dueling pianos, buddy. Father's Day. I don't know if they're going to pack the house, but I was watching it last week on Coach's Corner's Facebook Live page. It looked pretty exciting. And we're trying something new today. We are on Coach's Corner's Facebook Live page. And once again, it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We'll be back talking Savannah Area Fellowship Christian Athlete Baseball. You listen to the Coach and AD right here from the Soundgarden on the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
It's all sports all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dining and lunch and dinner. But remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Henderson, the Coach's Corner crew, has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts ribs and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in the Soundgarden is Departure, the Journey tribute band. Tickets are priced between $20 and $35, and you can get tickets online at eventbrite.com. Remember, make it a night at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
Good morning, sports fans. It's the coach and
AD.
AD who?
Coach Griffin, man. Is there any other?
I just want to make sure we got that straight. So it's the coach and AD live from the Coach's Corner Sound Garden every Saturday morning on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report Facebook page. We're live on the Coach's Corner Facebook page. We're live on YouTube, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report page. And we're live on Twitter at KD Sports Report. We're live everywhere. Hey, great day. It's beautiful out right now. Hey, Chad, let's play a little baseball. You know, baseball, I love this saying, has been very, very good to me. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, man. It's a great one. That's why we're up here in Aiken today. You ready to play a little ball?
And joining us now on the Coach's Corner live internet stream, not the hot seat, okay, is the Savannah area baseball ambassador, okay, and the Southern Georgia area director. We got Jason Rockwell, we got Brad Lane, and you got the coach. Good morning, guys. Happy Father's Day.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Right back at you.
Hey, it's a great day to talk baseball, and you guys got the 5th annual Fellowship of Christian the Savannah area Fellowship of Christian Athletes baseball game. You got to be excited about it. I'm going to go to Brad Lane. You just posted on my little comment board here. We're sold out. There are no more tickets.
That's correct. We were limited to 500 tickets by the Bananas out of an abundance of caution. They're trying to get used to this, the different parameters they've got to go through as far as letting people in, and we have no more tickets. So if you bought a ticket, you pick them up at will call, and you come on in. So, yeah, we're all sold out. Good problem to have.
And over to the man that was the brainchild behind this game 5 years ago, Jason Rockwell. Jason, did you like your little logo I put up there for you in the promo?
I like that, man. And I was in the what was I in the? I was backstage. I felt like I'm a Karl DeMasi groupie at a concert here, waiting to for my picture to pop up with you guys.
I had you in your Mets hat, your Mets shirt. I mean, you are a Met fan, right?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I grew up a Braves fan, but because when the Sandnats were here, they were the Mets affiliate. I mean, half of those guys came through Savannah, and there were multiple teams now, but it's almost I became a Mets fan because of the relationships I had with the guys.
And tell us about how 5 years ago this was your brainstorm, your child to bring this game to fruition way back when.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I just I went to Brad and I said, "Hey, dude, I have an idea." And baseball has always been I call it my Jesus niche. We've been to Cuba on a baseball missions trip, and it's just with the Sycamore, the stadium baseball camp. We can use this white ball to teach the game, obviously, but also you can weave Jesus in there tremendously well, and it works. And I just saw a need for that here locally, Karl. I know you have a heart for local kids and high school athletes and whatnot. And I said, hey, how about an all-star game, a high school all-star game? And it just started as just a small idea, and with God's grace, it became something that we're still working on, obviously. But that first year, Islands High School hosted it. It was after one of the hurricanes. I can't remember which one, but there's a sinkhole in right center field at Grayson Stadium. So Grayson was out, and Islands was very generous to allow us out there that first year. I think there were probably 22 people there. But it was a starting place, and it's just grown from there.
Chad, you still here? All right, Chad's trying to come back on. How we doing, Chad?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you don't worry about the picture. You got a question for these guys?
Yeah, hey, one from a baseball perspective, man, it's got to be exciting to have the amount of talent you guys have accumulated from all across the Chatham County, Effingham, Richmond Hill area. So just talk about how excited you are, the amount of kids you have, and the talent that's going to be on display Monday night.
Yeah, I tell you what, we've had some players come through here these last 5 years, and when you look at the rosters, just from this year, there are 50 of the area's top baseball players, and And this game isn't just about, hey, if you're talented, come on out. We want good character guys out there too, good character young men that are making good decisions and want to make an impact for Christ, as they further their careers and they become fathers and husbands, But yeah, there's no doubt, AD. There's some great talent out there this year, and there always has been. We've had guys that have committed to Georgia Tech and Georgia and Vanderbilt, with Carter Holton and what we might see. I just texted the head coaches, Scott Strickland and Philip Lee, about 10 minutes ago, because I was reading in the paper yesterday that Holton and Carter have never faced each other. So we'll leave a little drama. We might be able to make that happen.
All right, Brad, you're the behind the scenes man. How did you work this out with the Bananas agreeing to doing all this year? Because, with the COVID-19 pandemic and things that are going on, how did you get the Bananas to agree to this?
Well, Jason can speak to this probably a lot better than I can, because Jason had that relationship with the Bananas before I did. But this was pre-COVID that we worked all this out. We were going to do – this was kind of their dry run for their staff to be able to do this. And there for a while, we thought we were not going to be able to do it at all. And it has worked out where FCA has checked out everything and thought that we were in compliance with all the COVID regulations. And as far as the baseball game's concerned, and the Bananas are taking care of the fan part of it. So it's a good partnership with those guys. And we're looking forward to partner with them even further moving down the road. I will say this about Jason, you speak to this too, about our talent that we have on the field. Those coaches actually they were able to put their own teams together. So that those coaches have done a great job this year. Yeah,
you're right. Guys, this year, I asked the coaches to buy in a little bit more. We've had a couple of guys that have been really, really in on it, but we want to get these area coaches involved in this more so. So I took a giant step back this year and just handed the reins over to Scott Strickland and to Philip Lee, and they created their own coaching staffs. They reached out to their fellow coaches. We divided up. The teams are divided up pretty much like it's going to be city versus county, as best we could figure it out. So we maybe have that rivalry starting here in the All-Star game. But going back to the Bananas thing there, Jared Orton reached out to us when the GHSA took the playoffs away from Grayson Stadium at a very late notice to them, and that was the state championship playoffs there. That's what they would use to get their staff warmed up for the Bananas season, and they didn't have that. And he's like, "Hey, I have an idea. Could you give me a call?" And man, I was on the phone with him about 8 seconds to him, and he's like, "Why don't we do this? We'll do concessions for you. We're going to do all of our Bananas wacky stuff along with this game." So to get these kids on the field in that atmosphere, maybe they'll be dancing on the dugouts. I don't know what's going to happen, but man, what a memory. And for these seniors who lost their season, what a memory.
Hey, well, Brad, from the FCA perspective, what you guys have been able to do for Low Country and for athletics, I guess one of my questions, if you guys thought about expansion upon just baseball, have y'all thought about getting into other sports? I know we have a little bit of all-star games and different things, but where is FCA maybe at saying, hey, let us be the premier guide in some postseason stuff here?
Yeah, thanks for the question. We have talked about doing some other sports, especially the next one on the list in the fall with the softball. And here's the deal that we have. We're looking for staff. We don't want to start something we can't maintain. We want to do it with excellence. And so we want to make sure that we get off on the right foot when we do those things. And that's why we just kind of hit the pause button on that for right now until we're able to do it and do it with excellence.
Hey, I coach softball. I don't mind helping.
I can volunteer a guy at Calvary Day School. I know who will be interested in helping too.
Is this recorded? Are we getting volunteers right and left? I like it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll vouch for it. Anything to promote our kids, to get them something extra that people can see what they're doing. And you know what? We play softball in the fall here. College, everybody else in the United States plays it in the spring. So it's a great recruiting tool. And, if we can get college coaches to come too, I mean, it's something special. And, Fellowship of Christian Athletes has done a great service in this area. And, I was once part of that group, but with all the stuff I do now, I find it very hard to get involved. But the man who was in charge of it left Islands High School. So I'm going to try and help you guys try to kick it back up over there at Islands High School. But you guys do a great job, and you promote the kids, and it's something special. And to speak about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Brad, you got a number of schools. How many schools are we up to now that have a Fellowship of Christian Athlete chapter? A huddle. A huddle.
I don't have that number on me there, Coach. I'll just be honest with you. We do have a few huddles going, and we want more, and we need more volunteers like you two just jumped up and did. Coach Griffin, I do want to ask a question. Did you just volunteer your wife to help out with something? Or?
No, my wife stepped down last year as head coach. She did it for 17 years. Last year was the first year she stepped away to watch our two middle school kids play sports. But Chris Carr, he's from upstate New York, but he's been down here. He won a state championship at Buford High School over there across the bridge, and we brought him on last year as our head coach. But he's a guy who loves to be involved in stuff like this. He's a uber organized guy, and I think between him and Karl, we could help you get that done.
Yeah, I knew y'all had made that transition. I just wanted to. I've been married this year. I'll celebrate 30 years, and I learned early on you don't volunteer your wife for anything. So
no, I know better than that. I know better. I'm at 18, hoping to make it to 19.
There you go.
All right, guys. Anything else special that we need to let the community know besides there's no more tickets? And I'll announce it right here. I'm going to try to do my best, but we will stream the game on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report page, the Prep Sports Report page, and, of course, on Twitter. I'm going to ask John Henderson if we could do it on the Facebook page. So we're going to be streaming it live. I hope it's as good as I got it to go yesterday. But anything else these people need to know?
I'll just jump in real quick. Gates open at 5:30. I encourage people to get there early because there's a process to get through the gates. They'll get their temperature checked, all those things. They're encouraged to wear masks. There'll be social distancing. I hate to use the word social. We're all social. There'll be physical distancing while we're there. Families can sit together, that kind of thing. If you rode with somebody there in the car, surely you can sit together and those sorts of things. We got special guest singing the national anthem and a first pitch, which I'll let Jason talk more about.
Yeah, first pitch. I offered up a pitching lesson, and I wasn't taken up on the offer, but we'll have Mayor Van Johnson out there. So hopefully he can throw a first pitch strike, get us started on the right foot. And one thing I will say too is, this game is what we use as our fundraiser. It helps us minister to coaches and athletes, for the next year or so. So this fundraiser obviously has taken a back seat this year, because of everything that happened. But I've been getting emails and text messages pretty much daily of people, hey, we're out of tickets, but how can we help? I want to support FCA. So you can still go to the FCA website, savfca.org. And if you want to donate, you can do that. It's tax deductible, and all of that. But, this year it's always for the kids. It's always for Christ. With a fundraiser there as well. But that fundraiser is really taking a back seat. But obviously, with the ministry that we do, you need funds to do what you do. So I would just say that. And, man, thank you guys for your support, for this. Karl, AD, you guys have been great every year. We do this and, doing play-by-play this year, getting it streamed out there. So every year we seem to take another step, So I'm excited for this year, but I'm excited for next year. We're laying that groundwork this year for years to come for these kids.
And I would be amiss if I didn't say this. We were being able to progress a lot more because of our board. We've had some volunteers on our board who have helped us get to where we are, and it's going to get us even further down the road. So, and again, I echo what Jason said. Thank you so much for your support and having us on this morning and being able to talk about the game a little bit and about FCA. So thank you.
I'm going to say it right here now. I support this baseball game every year. I bought another 2 tickets. Since they're sold out, Chad, you got to help me find a way how we can give these 2 tickets away. But we got to do something to make it interesting. But I will donate my 2 tickets to somebody that couldn't get the 2 tickets. And I'm just happy to be there with Chad. Chad will be doing the color. Travis Giordano will be doing color, so there'll be 3 of us up there talking about high school baseball, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys letting us do this.
Oh, thank you. Great partnership. We're better together. That's for sure.
Giddy up.
Amen, brother.
All right, guys. I'll see you Monday night. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Here we go.
Yeah, get that ball. Is that the one that Van Johnson thrown out?
It could be. I could write his name on it. You want me to do that?
If he wants to.
Put a little number like they do in Major League Baseball. Oh, we don't do that this year. I forgot. Sorry. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks.
See you.
Appreciate you.
I mean, you want to talk about 2 guys passionate about, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, what these 2 guys do for this area with that organization. And I mean, the athletes love it. Even kids that aren't athletes will come to the meetings at Islands High School. And you've been a big part of this for a long time, Chad. It's just something special that the FCA, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, can do this every year.
Well, they do.
I hope they do a softball one.
Yeah, we could definitely make that work. And then also they do such a great job of getting in the schools, getting kids interested, talking about Christ, and it's a big deal, for this area and the growth. And they do a great job on leadership conferences as well. And he's right. Everything is privately funded. They don't just have funds coming in. Everything's funded by events like this, sponsorships. I remember when Mark Rick would come and other coaches would come and speak, and all that money goes back to support FCA and do the things they do in the schools to help these student athletes. And the thing we didn't get to mention is they took on doing student athlete awards this year with FCA. I know you had a kid at Islands, had a kid at Calvary. There was kids all over the city and the kind of this area of Georgia. So they did a great job promoting student athletes with a mission-driven Pacific mindset. So once again, they do a great job, and we're blessed to have them in our area.
And I'm excited about Monday night, not just to call the game, but to watch these 50 all-star players. And most of them seniors getting their last chance to play a little baseball. There'll be a senior recognition at 6:15 for the seniors that are playing in the game. Another great idea by Jason Rockwell, Brad Lane, that whole group over FCA. I'm excited about it. So look forward to it. I got 2 tickets. I'll figure out how I got to give them away. Chad, during the next break, you got to get that little AD head. You're the promotion guy here, so we got to figure out what we can do with it.
Let's do a little. Maybe instead of 3 out the door, you do a little trivia, and so the first people to tweet you, get some tickets.
Okay, well, come up with it. You got it. I know you're sitting in your car. You can't do that. But anyway, hey, next up, we talked about an FCA softball game. I'm sorry, BryAnn, that it won't be available to you because you are a graduate. You are a graduate of HV Jenkins High School, but it's a great idea. She is the 28th Hollis Stacey Award winner, Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from HV Jenkins High School, the Warriors. BryAnn Pound. We'll be right back with her. You're listening to the coach and the AD right here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, always in the Sound Garden on a Saturday morning, and it's all presented by the Coaches Corner Sports Network.
It's all sports all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They're now open for dining and lunch and dinner. But remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Henderson, the Coach's Corner crew, has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts ribs and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in the Sound Garden is Departure, the Journey Tribute Band. Tickets are priced between $20 and $35, and you can get tickets online at eventbrite.com. Remember, make it a night at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ.
Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a...
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And it's the coach, and it's the
AD.
Hey, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. My Bluetooth headphones went out.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to put the mic back on, but it's the coach and the AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, live from the Sound Garden on the campus of Coach's Corner, and it's all on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're on Facebook Live, Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're on Facebook Live on Coach's Corner. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Twitter Live. We're all over the place. It's Saturday morning. Happy Father's Day, and we got a Savannah sports update. Brian Harmon just eagled the second hole at the Heritage. So right now he's 2 under for the day. That means he's 7 under. He's only 5 strokes off the lead. I got to look at the leaderboard. Hey, Brian Harmon eagled the second hole, par 5. He shot a 3, right? Eagle is 2 under, right?
Yes. So I told you, man, like it's his home, just as much as his home course. If he gets hot today, he can put a big number up and be within contention going into tomorrow.
That's great. All right. Let's get to it right now. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic of the Week. This young lady for the Warriors this year batted .507 in softball. She scored 47 times, knocked in 20 runs. She had 36 hits, in which 14 were doubles, 2 were triples, and a pair of homers. 1 was against me, I think. Okay. On the base path, people, she was 19 for 19. Nobody threw her out, not even close. Then on basketball, she averaged 5 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 2 steals a game. I mean, and her third sport, which, Chad, this will make you happy. She was playing soccer for the Lady Warriors. They were off to one of their best starts in a long time. They were off to a 4-1 start. She had 3 goals and 3 assists, and she just graduated, and she is the 28th Hollis Stacey Award winner. She joins former Warriors Kamisha Mayberry back in '97 and Jasmine Perrott in 2001. Joining us on the Coach's Corner live internet stream is this year's 2020. Let me get it here. There she is. 2020, this year's Hollis Stacey Award winner, BryAnn Brown. BryAnn, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing good. I'm trying to figure this out so we can get her. There we go. So we can see everybody. And once again, congratulations. Last Sunday was special for you. So thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Well,
hey, so BryAnn, one being a 3-sport athlete, is got to be pretty demanding time-wise, So just tell everybody out there, especially, those younger student athletes, what it takes to be disciplined in not only your athletics, but your academics as well. And how would you balance that throughout your high school career?
for my freshman year, it was kind of hard, learning to like balance out everything, between academics and sports. But eventually I got through it. It took a lot of time management, just like having to go home, like go to school every day and then practice, and having to go home, do homework. It took a lot, but eventually, I figured out throughout the years, it just took a lot. You just have to be very disciplined. It just takes a lot.
All right, and you're a 3-sport athlete, and you're involved in football, softball, football and softball, same season. Softball, basketball, and soccer. I mean, when did you start playing? I mean, when you started crawling, when did you pick up a ball? Which ball did you pick up first?
I actually picked up basketball first, because my dad played in college, and so basically they were like, they wanted me to play basketball. So, they started signing me up for to play at the Y. That's how I started. Eventually, after basketball, I played soccer, and then I eventually managed to find softball. And so, I just stuck with softball, throughout the years.
And Grandpa was happy with that, right?
He's very happy. Very happy.
Chad?
So BryAnn, your softball stats are off the chart. From that standpoint, I mean, your batting average, your RBIs, nobody could touch you on the base pass. What is it about softball that you're drawn to? It seems like, and you do so well at. Is there any particular thing within the softball realm that, hey, this is why I love it so much, or this is why I embrace it?
Just being around, like, my teammates and everything. I just love softball so much, just being out there, like being out on the field, the dirt. It's a great feeling. I love, hitting. I love hitting. And then, the defense, it's great. Everything about softball is great. The coaches, just everything. I love everything about it.
And what made you want to play shortstop?
That is a great question. I actually started off playing first base because I was so tall. They're like, well, we're going to use you for first base. And then one day during one of my softball tournaments, they were like, well, we need you to play short. I've just been playing shortstop ever since. And it's an advantage because I'm so tall. So I use my legs to get
cover more ground.
Middle. Yeah. So I use it to my advantage.
And you're watching the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network in the Sound Garden. While Coach Griffin, the AD's up watching a little baseball with his son. So go ahead, Chad.
Hey, so also I'm going to dive into the soccer realm. We were supposed to play you guys at the end of the year, and we were looking forward to that as well. So talk a little bit about your soccer teammates. I know the season was cut short, but you guys are off to your best your best start in a while here. So one, talk to me about position you played in soccer, what you were playing at HB Jenkins, and just what you were looking forward to the most as the soccer season was getting ready to progress on.
We were off to like a really good start. We were so excited for the season. We got a new coach, Coach Balance. She was great. Like, she really made us work hard at practice every single day. Just the chemistry that we all had together really got us off to a great start. And it sucks that it had to end short, but we were looking forward to the season, and if it would have continued, I feel like something great could have happened.
Well, you always got to be in that region with Islands and Savannah Arts Academy. I would have loved to see that. Okay, so you're very versatile. You can play 3 sports. Before I get to the Hollis Stacey question, which one's your favorite?
Softball.
Softball.
Softball's my favorite.
Why is it your favorite? Just because you like to get down and dirty?
Yes. Literally, every time, I can't leave the softball field without dirt on me. I'm never clean.
Your mother must be happy with that.
She's not. It's crazy.
All right, let's go to the 28th Hollis Stacey Award trophy presentation last Sunday at Jenkins High School. What did this mean to you? I mean, what was your feeling when you heard that you were the 28th Hollis Stacey Award winner for the most versatile high school female in Savannah?
It was funny because at the time I was in Brunswick at a softball tournament. So we were on our break, and so I was in the store, and all of a sudden I get a call from Mr. Dennis Knight, And he's like, "Oh, you just won." I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. And I was in the car with my grandpa, and like he started crying because like he wanted me to win this award like forever. And just to be put in that category with a bunch of other great like female athletes, it's a great feeling. And I was so shocked about it at first.
Congratulations.
Well, that's the one thing about it is you will now be etched in Savannah history, as one of the best female athletes to come through here. And that's what's great about whether it's the Ashley Deering Award or the Hollis Stacey Award is the recognition that, that will be forever. You will be forever engraved in that group. But also, hey, let people know what's next for you. What's BryAnn going to do, and what's next on the horizon for you from a college perspective?
Okay, so I'm going to Britton Parker to play softball. I was just really drawn to Britton Parker. Like, the school is great. They welcome me with open arms. Coach Madison, the softball coach, she was great. Just everything about it. So I hope to pursue softball, and then I'm going to study biology because I want to study to be a physical therapist. So it's going to be hard, but I'm going to go play softball and I'm going to go get my degree. And so hopefully good things will come out of that.
Like you said, time management is going to be key. So I got a question for you. I know as a coach, I asked my team for a team goal. I asked my players to set up an individual goal for the season. What motto do you use to reach those goals? I know you had a goal. Your grandpa wanted you to win this since you were a freshman. What motto did you go by to make yourself a successful student athlete?
I didn't really have a motto for me. It was just like, if I really wanted this, if I really wanted to pursue like softball at the next level, I just really had to work for it. I had to work hard. I just had to go out and push myself every day. Even if I didn't want to, I just had to go out there and I had to work hard. I had to train, just to get where I am right now.
Coach?
Well, BryAnn, anytime you have success, usually you got to have a great support system around you and playing year-round sports, it sounds like. And it sounds like, just through this interview, your family's had tremendous impact. Just talk about your family for a minute and the support system you've had from sounds like everybody around there, and just give you opportunity to talk about them and how they've helped you develop.
So my family, they're great. They've been there for me ever since I started playing sports. They never gave up on me. They sacrificed a lot, especially my mom, which is why I look up to her so much because, I understand it's hard, raising like 3 kids in a household, just being able to support everyone. But, she sacrificed a lot for me to go out and play softball year round because I do travel softball, just to travel to like places like Waycross and Valdosta and all these places in Georgia. So for her to sacrifice a lot along with my family is great. They've done a lot for me and they just never given up on me.
Okay, Jenkins High School. You've been there for four years. What's your most fondest memory of being a Warrior, whether it's academics or athletics?
For athletics, it's probably the away games and the out of town games, probably because just being on the bus with your teammates, you kind of learn more about them. You kind of get to bond with them a little bit more. I just love the out of town games, just being with my teammates, and it's just great.
Okay, you already told us what you want to do in the future. You already told us what you want to do with younger kids. What does it mean now that you're etched in the history of Savannah high school sports?
It's a great feeling. It was kind of surprising at first because I'm like, wow, just to be along with all these other great people. But it's a great feeling, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Coach?
Well, BryAnn, it's been awesome to follow your career, especially, looking back and doing some research since you won the Hollis Stacey the other week. And, hey, congratulations on just a tremendous senior year, even though you got cut short. But obviously the things you did up until that point, everybody recognized and everybody understood that you're one of the best female athletes in Savannah, and you'll have that title for as long as there is. So congratulations. Great job. Best of luck at Britton Parker. A lot of Savannah kids going to Bruton Parker, it seems like that's become a popular spot. So they got to be doing something well up there in Mount Vernon to get everybody up there. So it seems like they're pouring in the resources and people. So good luck up there at Bruton Parker, and congratulations once again on a great career at Jenkins.
Thank you.
BryAnn, once again, it's been a pleasure to coach against you. And believe me, everybody that played against Jenkins had to prepare for BryAnn Pound, her sister, and the Warriors on the softball field, on the basketball court, on the soccer field. You've done a great job. I do have a plaque for you. I will give you a call. We'll set up a meet, and I'll get you that plaque presented by Dr. Bart Wetherington, because you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the summer and have fun. What are they, the Bruton Parker Barons?
Yes, sir.
Go Barons.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I mean, Chad, just a great, humble young lady. I mean, she's something special. She's been something special here in Savannah, Georgia, on the court, on the softball field, on the soccer field. And you know what? You never hear her say a bad word to her opponent. She's always quiet, but she's a quiet leader, as Bree, her basketball coach, said. And believe it or not, John Burke, her former basketball coach, said basketball is probably her best sport. I don't think so. I think she loves softball a little more.
Yeah, she seems to really have a passion for softball. From that perspective, and her stats just don't lie. I didn't get to see her play. I was going to ask you, like, where's she bad in the lineup? Was she there 4-hole hitter, 3-hole hitter?
I mean, we had a pitch around her. I know one time I intentionally walked her, and I said to her after the game, that's a show of respect. So people were yelling at me, don't take the bat out of her hands. You know what? That was a sign of respect, because it was a region game and we needed to win it. So I'm going to coach to win. This is a player that, and I'm telling you, she put one over the fence on us. You couldn't throw her out. She was on base path. She was stealing second and third from, so you had to worry about that. Just one of those athletes that you knew as soon as she stepped up to the plate, as soon as she stepped on the field, you're gonna have to reckon with BryAnn Pound. So it was just special.
Yeah, like I said, we got a lot of, we've had a lot of local athletes on there going down to Bruton Parker, going to be a Baron. I know we have a girls softball player that's already down there. We have boys basketball going there. There's just been a slew of kids going down to Bruton Parker. So it seems they've made a really re-jumping commitment to athletics. And, hey, it's just far enough away from home, I guess, but not too far for our kids. So it's a great environment down there. And I know they're a very faith-based school as well, and that's important to the kids that are going there.
And like you said, it has to fit her. She said she's loved it. She's loved the atmosphere. So, well, next up, we're going to talk a little Georgia State sports, high school sports, Georgia State soccer. I mean, he does down here soccer. He's the online sports guy. He does the Georgia Public Broadcasting Friday night. You name it, this man does it. And Chad, he's not written one book. He's written 5, and he's working on his 6th. I don't know how he finds the time, but once again, good friend of mine. Always love speaking to him. We can speak sports. And if you'd love to speak sports with him, because we could do this for hours, from the Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports Network, the Online Guys Sports Network, it'll be the correspondent, the journalist, you name it, John Nelson. And it's all right here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report with the coach and AD in the Sound Garden, and always presented by the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
It's all sports all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dining and lunch and dinner. But remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Henderson and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in Soundgarden is Departure, the Journey Tribute Band. Tickets are priced between $20 and $35, and you can get tickets online at eventbrite.com. Remember, make it a night at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
Good morning, sports fans. It's the coach and the AD, and it's on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Now it's an online show, no longer on the radio, okay, due to the coronavirus. But we have a lot of fun here every Saturday morning, and it's all presented on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Right over my shoulder, John Henderson. I got to thank you for letting me do this. And once again, Chad, it's always a lot of fun. I can't believe that we've already gone through almost an hour. I mean, it goes by so quick.
Yeah, man, it's pretty incredible. And the guest we have on the first segment with Brad Lane and Rockwell, what a great looking baseball that was as well, man. The FCA logo on it, that's exciting. But knowing it's sold out is unbelievable. You know, so hey, I know you got 2 tickets you're going to give out to someone, you know, towards the end of the show. And then also, what a great young lady. You got to, you know, coach against her, and Hollis Stacey Award winner, and now this guy coming on, man. Listen, we might have to put a time limit on this, because we could talk for the next hour on sports. We have to cut this segment. We have to time it up.
I'm going to just go quickly through his resume because I know, you know, he every time I do this, he says, wow, that's me. Yeah, it's you, John. Okay, I'm telling you right now, he's a Georgia boy, graduated from Lakeside High School, went to Florida State, which I can't complain, but I don't know, with a political science degree, he winds up being a sports journalist, a television sports journalist for 25 years. He's an author. He covers the Georgia Public Broadcasting System Friday night game every Friday night. He's joining us now, not on the hot seat, but on the Coach's Corner internet stream, the man himself, John Nelson. John, great to have you on.
Morning, gentlemen. I saw those crinkle fries in the ad for Coach's Corner, and that got me hungry. I just skip breakfast and head straight to lunch. Now, that's some pretty solid stuff. Now you're getting me all hungry, and we haven't even started talking yet.
Oh, what's the matter? You didn't like Rocky's New York Deli, some cannoli, some black and white cookie, a little rainbow cookies, a little eggplant parmesan, chicken cutlet parmesan.
See, if I mention Rockies, then I can't do this and have it still be a straight line by the end of the segment. I have to make sure that the abs that I'm trying to recover here stay in that form. And I know that Chad knows what I'm talking about. Trying to make sure about you got to work out, you got to stay constant, you got to make sure that what you're chasing stays the same. But no, if I ended up going to both Rockies and Coach's Corner, I'd be in serious trouble.
Well, I'm telling you, when you make your trip down to the Southeast Georgia coast, let me know. I'm going to take you to Rockies, buddy. It's going to be on me.
Roger that. What do you want to talk about? Go ahead and line it up. We'll knock it down.
All right. Well, let's shoot right away. I mean, I want to go into something that's near and dear to you. You're writing books, and you got a special book coming up, and it's about a football coach. And go ahead, tell the world what project you're working on now.
Yeah, book 6 is about Buddy Nobles, and it is about last season with what went down at Irwin County and his battle with cancer and the lessons that we all can learn from being around folks like Buddy. And I know Coach and Chad, I know that we've all been around those individuals that are touchstones for all of us, and they always resonate with us, the lessons that we learn. They're always going to be a part of our lives. We've always had those folks that have been influences in not just how we are in sports, but in our everyday. And the boss and I, meaning the wife, the boss, we are blessed to call the Nobles family very good friends. And this one was really a no-brainer because, you know, as we all know, it was a great story last year. Irwin County gets their first football championship since 1975. And just everything that came with it, and to see Buddy continue to persevere, not make it about him, not make it a pity party, and win the championship. And then just a couple weeks later, we lose him to stomach cancer. It was a great fight, and it's just about lessons in destiny and going through the prism of last year.
Sounds exciting. Can't wait to see it being published.
John, talk about Irwin County's a special place. And you talk about, you're not picking a Metro Atlanta school out here. You're talking about a small town, very knit community. Just talk to people about the impact of just him and what he was battling, and how the community just stayed engaged, and just the love and support that came through the community for him and that school and that football program during that time.
Well, Chad, I think it was a personification of what we all know when it comes to high school football and high school athletics and small towns and things like that. When you have a whole lot of folks who will sit there and they'll wear a bracelet, they'll put the yard sign up about "We got your back, bud." I'll give you an example, and I don't know how many folks remember the Fitzgerald game last year, and we all have these rivalries, and you guys know what it means to go up against your bitter rival. 51 weeks out of the year, Fitzgerald and Irwin County, Ben Hill County, Irwin County, you have Fitzgerald and Ocilla 10 minutes apart. You live in one, you shop in the other, you eat in one, you work in the other. That week, as we all know, it is blood feud. I mean, it is purple school, it is red school. They don't like each other on the football field. Up until 2 years ago, Fitzgerald had won 18 in a row, and it was like the Red Sox and the Yankees before everything turned. In 2018, Irwin County wins. In 2019, everyone knew that Buddy was fighting stomach cancer at this time, so they called for a whiteout. And it wasn't just the Fitzgerald side. It wasn't just the Irwin County side that wore white. The Fitzgerald side wore white too. So you had basically 5,000 people in one football stadium all wearing white to show support for Buddy Nobles. And the pictures that came out from that game were tremendous. And I think that game was a personification of what people mean, what families mean, what schools mean, what teams mean, what rivalries are. But when you can set them aside, knowing how you love someone as deeply as both of these cities do, because remember, Buddy was an assistant coach under Robbie Pruitt and Fitzgerald, so you had that history there. And the Nobles family still lives in Fitzgerald, but they work in Ocilla. So you have all of these dynamics coming together, and I think that it was just a great personification of what high school football, what high school athletics, and what small towns mean to each other, because it wasn't just those two cities that had the yard signs up. You could go to Douglas and see it. You could go to any school in Region 2 Single A last year where, give you an example, in Atkinson County over in Pearson, 45 minutes away, the folks at the ag department at Irwin County had built basically a deer stand for Buddy to be in, so he could be in and he could sit and still call plays and stuff. They figured out a way to break that thing down, put it on the back of a trailer, drive it 45 minutes to Pearson for the Atkinson County game, assemble it there at Atkinson County so Buddy could still have his deer stand, and they put a tent over the top of it because it was getting cold during the playoffs. Break it down, bring it back. Those kinds of things, it just shows you how South Georgia, and you guys know this, how everyone just wraps their arms around someone in a situation like that, and the love just goes forward.
Amazing. I mean, I got goosebumps just when you talked about the whiteout game. I mean, just something special. So, all right, so that'll be coming out soon. When's the release date?
The release date is plotted for the anniversary of the championship wins. So it would be the week after the SEC championship. I'll see if I can show you my notes here real quick. I have Word documents like nobody's business when it comes to everything. This is my list of phone numbers and all of the to-do when it comes to putting this thing together, who I have to call, when I have to call them. This is what it's like putting together this jigsaw puzzle. So that's just a small piece of it, and I have Google Docs all over the place when it comes to assembling this thing. So the plan is to have it out the week after, or the championship week here coming up in 2020.
All right, now you're a soccer guy. Chad's a soccer guy, and I know, soccer down here. You got the Tormentor little what do you call it? Scarf behind you. We had Tormentor on 2 weeks. Dan Van Tressel. That was that was a great interview. Go ahead. You're the soccer guy. Throw it out in there, AD.
No, I'm just going to ask him. Tell us about the history behind that and the love and passion that you have for it. Where'd that come from?
Well, it started, and this is the Atlanta Apollos, by the way. I figured I'd break this out. Atlanta Apollos won season in Atlanta after the Atlanta Chiefs as a part of their time in the 1970s. And this is the subtle plug for the show and for the network. We'll get into that in a second. When we get the end of the segment, we'll do the subtle plugs. But
okay,
I've just always been a guy that liked live sports, and it goes back to when I was 7 years old, and went to go see the Atlanta Chiefs play the Washington Diplomats in the old days of the North American Soccer League. And it was at Fulton County Stadium. And then I got to go see a California surf game in the North American Soccer League with my dad out at Anaheim Stadium before they created all the rocks and everything in the outfield. So it's California surf, Washington Diplomats. So I'm an old North American Soccer League guy. And so going from there to indoor and watching the major indoor soccer league on the USA Network, that's just kind of where it started. And then when Atlanta United came online, just kind of following things through about 4 years ago, Jason Longshore, the color commentator for Atlanta United on their radio network, and we just decided, look, this is something folks need to know about on a daily basis. So we do the daily show from 9 to 11. It's a blast. We don't necessarily pin it down to what's going on with Atlanta United, although a lot of folks, that's our hammer. The show kind of started out, and the network started out as basically a show about soccer in the South based in Atlanta. But over time, it's kind of flipped itself to where it's now a show that talks about soccer, regardless of where it is, that just happens to be based in the Southeast. And you guys know, when you guys had Darren on a couple of weeks ago, to see what they're doing in Statesboro and to see the vision of a guy like Darren, to see how they've gone up the pyramid, and now they're a part of USL League One, and they're making inroads there, where their second team is winning in US Open Cup, knocking off Chattanooga Red Wolves last year, and getting into the tournaments that are a part of the fabric of the country as well. And to see the plans that Darren has when it comes to what they want to do in Statesboro and how they're impacting families with what they've been doing during COVID-19, where, if you go to the clubhouse and you pick up some shirts, you're helping to feed, the folks who are less fortunate there, and their donations to the NAACP in Bullitt County. They're really doing a whole lot of fantastic stuff. And it's not just about Statesboro. I mean, it's about Millen County. It's about Bullitt County. It's about, what's going on up and down the freeway from Macon to Savannah. And the impact that they're having isn't just there in Statesboro. It's right there in that whole pocket. And to just see the sport evolve to where you're getting regional rivalries. It's Charleston, it's Savannah, it's Chattanooga, it's Greenville, it's Atlanta, and all of these places in between, just to see the growth. I mean, for me, it's just really cool to see how it's locked itself in each of these towns, and how you have all these rivalries now, and you're seeing the sport grow and evolve. And guys, we always talk about rising tide lifts all boats. When you see that in all of these different cities, I think that it's just really cool to see how the sport's advanced. But yeah, when I was a kid back in the 19-something or other, that's how it started, Chad. So short answer long, that's how it started.
Well, I mean, you got your hands and everything, and I really wasn't a big soccer guy, even though in the area where I grew up back in, okay, I mean, it was all around us until I started coaching it, and I really fell in love with the game. It's coaching wise, it's unbelievable. It's just like coaching basketball, except you got more players out there, and it's just you do a great job with it. And you're watching, of course, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, the coach AD, Chad.
There you go. There's your plug. There's your rejoin. Nicely done. There you go.
It's all right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Don't forget, Wednesday nights, we got the NASCAR show, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. But anyway, we're kind of worried here, okay? Friday night football Fridays in Georgia on Georgia Public Broadcasting System. I mean, you're seeing, Chad mentioned it when we started the show, all these colleges coming down with positive cases. And what do we got to worry about here? And this is the main reason why I wanted to get you on here, because you've been doing it 25 years. You've been doing it with the voice of high school football, our dear friend Tommy Palmer. What's your outlook on what's going to happen here come the fall?
Okay, first and foremost, obviously, my thoughts, and I have neglected to do this, is that I've got to catch up with JT Pollock over at Long County first and foremost, because of what we saw there with the one case, and now they've suspended everything through the end of dead week, and they're not going to come back to it until July 7th. So obviously, first and foremost, my thoughts are to everybody there in Little-Wissee and Hinesville and that area. But we saw late last week that the Georgia High School Association, through consultation with all of their health and safety protocols, they're going to expand the number of groups for voluntary training from 25 to 50 next week. And this will work its way all the way to dead week. And that can also work with the balls that you have in your individual sports. But you can't still have one-on-one kind of contact drills or anything like that. So if you're a quarterback, you can throw to a wide receiver. You just can't have a wide receiver going up at the line of scrimmage against a defensive back. If you're a basketball player, you can do shoot-arounds and things like that. You just can't do any guarding. If you're volleyball, you can, do your drills and things like that. But right now, first and foremost, I think that just remember, this is why we have protocols in place, and this is why we have testing available, whenever you want to get to that particular point. We still have time between now, as we're talking here, mid to late June, and say, the end of dead week is, say you're a month away from actual scrimmages and things like that. So I think that as we get closer to dead week, it's going to be very cautious, but just remember that there's a reason that these protocols are here. And if they're followed and followed to the letter, then you're going to be okay. And I know that if we go down this road a little bit, you probably could do things to the schedule. You could probably push things back, because the three of us remember not so long ago, they were playing right up until Christmas when it came to postseason. So there's some time if you need to wiggle your schedules. I know that there are other discussions about, possibly if you really want to get schedules pushed, you could really push it into winter and spring if you needed to. At the same time, you could knock out all your non-region games and just play region schedules and get you into playoffs and things like that. But until we get to those discussions, let's focus right now on just making sure that our students are as safe as possible and can condition during voluntary workouts as best they can, at the same time keeping an eye on each other to make sure that everyone is as healthy as you can be at the end of dead week, so the GHSA can make their informed decisions about what they want to do when it comes to the schedule and scrimmages and your regular season and your region play and things like that. Right now, we're just still in the summer in workouts. We've still got some time to go before we really have to think about how we have to juggle things.
All right, Chad, John, one more question. We got to get out of here after this.
Yeah, John, don't you think, though, from a stat perspective, it's pretty inevitable that you're going to have somebody across the state, especially if you take Metro Atlanta and the amount of kids and teams in it, that someone's going to test positive along that line. It's just data. I mean, you look at what happened at Clemson. You're saying 20 people. You're looking at Texas, 10. At some point, do we just once again freeze everything and stop? Or do you think, hey, you just got to have protocols in place? If this kid goes out, or, we even talked at schools like, hey, we got a backup plan for coaches. Hey, so say Mark Stroud gets it, or your offensive coordinator, or whoever, you better have a succession plan in place, because inevitably with stats, something's going to happen. What's your thoughts towards that?
I think that it's the latter, and I think that as long as you have those protocols in place and you have plans upon plans upon plans, it's like if A, then B. It goes to testing. It goes to protocols first and foremost. Then it goes to testing if you need to get to that point. If an athlete tests positive, the CDC and all the guidelines have given you game plans to figure out, okay, if an athlete tests or if an individual tests, then here's what you do. You test, you isolate, and then you monitor. Then it's contact tracing, and you just continue to work your way this way to see how you can isolate how many individuals have been affected. So no, I think that it's planning, it's testing, it's protocols, it's being in public wearing a mask, because I'm protecting you from me. It's not that that's how I view it. When you're in public, it's social distancing, all these things that we've heard the entire time. Just make sure that you're following these protocols. But yes, Chad, I think you are right. You have to have plans upon plans upon plans. It's going to be the biggest flow chart, I'm sure, that a lot of coaches have seen when it comes to preparedness as we get ready for athletics in the fall.
All right, let's go. If anybody wants to find out more about the man, John Freeman Nelson, what do they need to do and where do they need to go?
Easiest place is on the Twitters at OSG Nelson. You can follow me there at OSG Sports, at Soccer Down Here, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. So Soccer Down Here Daily Radio, 9 a.m. to 11. Jason Longshore and myself, 9 until 11, whenever. And you can download the app, available iOS and Android. Let me see if I can get my blatant plug done here really quickly. There you go, right there on the camera. There it is. OSG Sports app for college football, Soccer Down Here app for soccer, GPB Sports app for everything you need to know about high school sports. We'll get revved up before you know it.
Hey, we got somebody coming on pretty special. This is to introduce the next guest, the Savannah Spirit Women's Professional Premier League owner, coach, and player coming on next. So you want to check out what they're all about, just stay tuned, John.
I'll be right here.
Hey, John, always a pleasure. And like I said, I'm not going to be a stranger. You do a great job. I love following your stuff wherever it is. And once again, you're welcome anytime you want to talk, buddy.
Thank you very much, guys. Good to see both of you.
John, thanks again, man. You're awesome. Thanks for what you do for all of high school sports.
Appreciate you both.
Hey, love the walks, too. See you later.
Bye.
I mean, you want to talk a guy that loves Georgia, loves sports, soccer, football, you name it, the guy's going to cover it. He does a great job. John Nelson, Georgia Public Broadcasting sports correspondent, 25 years. Friday nights, let me get that. Football Fridays in Georgia, and, of course, online sports guys. And, of course, don't forget Soccer Down Here now, Chad.
Oh, yeah, man. They do a great job. You can hear them on the radio as well and then through an app. So they do a great job just talking about soccer. I mean, they fill the 2 hours. You know, it goes super quick. It's like me and you talking sports, man. He just gets on there and they start going, and you look up and 2 hours is gone.
Yeah, I know. It's a great show. All right, well, we're going to keep it on soccer. Hey, Chad, I'm running a little late because what's coming through the sunlight now? The sun, whatever you call it, window.
Yeah, you're about to move a little bit. You will starting to get a little warm.
Well, we're going to stay right on the soccer, okay? We got a new team in town, the Savannah Spirit, the women's premier professional soccer league. They'll have a game coming up this Wednesday. Let me get the names right now. Okay, we got co-owner DJ Spissio. We got the coach, tongue twisters here, Chad, Chris Davidovic. Okay, and then we got to play it. This one's easy. Jeanette Campbell coming on next. We're going to talk Savannah Spirit, women's professional soccer here in Savannah, Georgia, right here on the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And it's all right on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
It's all sports, all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dining, lunch, and dinner. But remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Henderson and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in Soundgarden is Departure, the Journey Tribute Band. Tickets are priced between $20 and $35, and you can get tickets online at eventbrite.com. Remember, make it a night at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too, every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
Good morning, sports fans. It's the coach and the AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're coming live from the Soundgarden of Coach's Corner, and it's all on the Coach's Corner Sports Network and Facebook Live, Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Facebook Live, Coach's Corner, Facebook Live page, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live at KD Sports Report. And we just got done talking to John Nelson, and John Nelson, big soccer fan here, does the Soccer Down Here show. He's also the guy that does Football Fridays in Georgia, does a lot. And what better way than to introduce our newest professional team here, the Savannah Spirit, Chad?
Yeah, man, looking forward to getting to talk to this great group and how they came about and how long did it take the process to get this going.
And once again, if you don't know it, the Savannah Spirit is the newest franchise to join the Women's Premier Soccer League. The team was supposed to kick off their season in May, but once again, the league has canceled it, but they are playing 2 games on Wednesday night over at Benedictine Military School. Joining us now on the Coach's Corner internet stream is the co-owner, DJ Spissio, the head coach, Chris Davidovic, and, of course, a Spirit soccer player herself, Jeanette Campbell. So here we go. Good morning, DJ. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Jeanette. Thanks for coming on.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us there, Karl and Coach. So just real quick before we get started, our first game is actually not until Saturday, the 27th.
Oh, I messed it up. I thought it was Wednesday.
That's okay. No problem. And that's no problem. And I appreciate the plug, and we appreciate you guys having us. And the only problem I have with the way this call started off is John doesn't have our Savannah Spirit.
Really appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah, John doesn't have our Savannah Spirit scarf in his background, so he needs to send us his address so we can put it on there for him.
I'll get
it. Yeah, he needs to get it. Well, listen, thanks again for having us. I just want to introduce me real quick, and I'll talk about our people on the call here. DJ Spissio, I'm a co-owner with a guy named Josh McIntosh. We own their women's premier soccer league. It's amateur soccer. It's a tier 2 amateur league in women's soccer in the U.S. They play for summer. It's primarily college kids, but we also have some former pros, and then we have some upcoming high school students that are playing as well. And we were going to have our inaugural season this summer. The league canceled it, obviously, with the current conditions, but they've allowed us to play some exhibition games. So that's kind of our intent. So we have a couple things we stand for that are kind of current with our, what we're doing here. I have 3 daughters, and I wanted to give them a chance to kind of build their confidence, build their skills. So what we're really focused on is the player as a whole. Yes, we want to win games, but really what we want to do is build some strong, self-confident women leaders, as well as give back to the community. So before I introduce these players and our coach, I want to encourage you guys to come out to our game on the 27th. We have a 5:30 and 7:30 game. We're playing South Carolina United at Benedictine Military School. They've been gracious enough to let us play. It will be safe. We'll be social distancing. We'll have bleachers blocked off. You'll be able to go around the field. So it'll be a wide open environment. It's almost like going to Daffin Park and watching the game from afar. So people will be safe. The players will be safe. The referees will be safe, and the other team will be safe. So we look forward to seeing you. I'm going to turn it over to Chris Davidovic. He's our coach, and let him kind of introduce himself.
Good, Coach.
Hey, guys. I'm trying to make sure my feed's good here. But Josh and DJ have a great vision. They approached me probably 9-10 months ago, and I could see their passion. DJ's got a couple daughters. I have a daughter, a young daughter, and for us, it really came down to 3 things. For women, we really want to be able to empower them and give them confidence, courage, and help develop their character. And I think the team is just a platform for us to be able to do that. And obviously, we love soccer. We want to build a great soccer team. We have a vision for putting a great product on the field, and we have some fantastic players have an ability to do some amazing things with the ball. But it's these deeper things that we want to teach and use to impact our team, our players, and the community here in Savannah in our area. So again, that's what really excited me and brought me on board with these guys. As far as soccer goes, obviously we've got amazing players. Jeanette's on with us. This is a player that doesn't live here, a player that reached out to us a couple months ago and said, "Hey, I see what you guys are doing. I want to be a part of that." And she's moved down here, found an internship and a host family, and is showing up early in the morning at 7 a.m. to train before the team even shows up. And that's, for us, that's what we're trying to develop here. For players that are like her that are in college that want to take their game to the next level. And then we also have youth players. Like, I'll give you an example, like with Jeanette and Sydney are 2 goalkeepers. They're both, 19 years old. We have a 14-year-old training with them the other day in the morning. So that's part of this. It's not just those oldest players in that top team, but it's also a generational thing. We've got, we even had 2 12-year-olds train with us the other day, and we had a 28-year-old on the field with them. So for us, it's how do we bring the game to the area, develop women, and then these younger girls, you give them a vision of saying, okay, like, you're training with them. This is where you can be in a couple of years. Like players like Jeanette and Sydney are 2 goalkeepers. We honestly don't want them here in 3 or 4 years. We want them playing professional, and we want this 14-year-old taking their spot. And that's what we're really trying to create here. Is something that's longer lasting and can really impact, girls for many, many years to come.
Well, Jeanette, how did you get involved in the Spirit? Like Coach said, you found them online. How did you get the information about the Savannah Spirit?
So, just to give you a background of where I'm from. So I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, which is south of Clemson. Everybody knows Clemson Tigers football. But I'm a native of Greenville, so I play for Anderson University. And so my coach, she plays for Asheville City, which is a WPSL team that's in a neighboring league. And my connections with her, she played at Clemson University. She's a good mentor, a good coach, a good person. And she said, "Jeanette, I think that you can thrive in a WPSL league." So I got a list of teams that were in my range of states and just started making calls. And I called Chris one afternoon when I came out of my government class, and we had about an hour and a half conversation, and it just seemed like a really good fit. So I made the commitment after the phone call, and we just kind of ran with it from there. I'm a political science major with criminal justice minor, so I'm going to go to law school. So my whole aspiration was to realistically play soccer, but also kind of take a step into the adult world and get a job. So to prepare for bigger things in the future. So I got a law internship, which is in downtown Savannah with Fleming Law. And it's just been a really good experience for my first week being in Savannah.
Hey, well, DJ, talking about the vision for this program, you look at what the Savannah Bananas have done, basically with college league guys. This is very similar on that front, and even Chris talked about the development of the younger kids. But talk about your vision and the process to get this going. Has to be substantial. It can't just be some overnight dream. There's got to be a process to this. And then, not just your vision for your first year, but a 5-year vision for what you guys are looking at to sustain the Savannah spirit and how to grow it. Because there's a plethora of talent here at Savannah, soccer-wise, that's coming out and going to college level, and how you guys, and Chris, are looking to adopt to that and just grow that in the next 5 years.
Great, Coach Griffin. Thanks for that segue. So a little bit of background about myself. I'm in the Air National Guard at the 165th Airlift Wing out in Savannah. So I've been in the military for, 24 years, although my haircut doesn't look like it right now, so don't judge me on that. But basically all I've ever done in my life is I'm a planner. I was a squadron commander for 2 years, and I would sit down with my airmen and I'd say, hey, what's your plan? What's your 1, 3, and 5 year plan, and how are you going to get there? And, they would just look at me like deer in headlights. And I said to myself, I'm like, this can't happen, man. I mean, life is going to move on, and you better be ready for it. So that's a little bit of kind of my driver. But the other thing, too, is I was brought up learning to give back to the community. I grew up in Macon. I played high school at Mountain Sales Academy. I went to the Citadel in Charleston, played soccer there. And I've always learned that you have to give back. So I've gotten involved in a couple of civic groups in town. I'm in the Metro Rotary in Savannah and Savannah Quarterback Club, a couple other things. And what I realized is a lot of these people do things they're passionate about, right? So they're involved with nonprofits, they're involved in groups. And I think the nonprofits are wonderful. I think they offer a lot to the community. But I really wanted to focus on character development, because what I think is if you build strong characters and leaders, you're going to build a strong community. And those are going to be the people that lead the nonprofits, that have the, coaches show, that are the coaches, that are the future leaders of the community. And so the link for me is I have 3 daughters, you know what I mean? And one's will be a sophomore at Savannah Arts. One will be a 8th grader at Blessed Sacrament. And the other one will be a 4th grader at Blessed Sacrament. And I said to myself, I'm like, you know what? We've got to give them an opportunity to build their own character and to be leaders. So this team kind of started to form. And, but there's also a nonprofit element to it as well, meaning like maybe instead of being a nonprofit, what we'll do is we'll link up with nonprofits to try to share a message. So here's one of the things. I just want to plug this real quick. We're not going to charge admission for our games at all, because I mean, look, let's be honest with each other. There's people are. It's tough. It's tough right now. What we're going to do though is you're going to get a free ticket, and then we're going to ask you for a donation to a nonprofit. This nonprofit that we're working right now is called Camp Sunshine. And Camp Sunshine is a camp for cancer children up in Rutledge, Georgia, and they also offer programming all over the year in the hospitals and the caring facilities. So the idea behind this is 2 things, or 3 things really. One, we're gonna build strong leaders. 2, we're gonna partner with the community, and 3, we're gonna try to win games and bring a good name to Savannah. What's my 5-year plan? My 5-year plan is we want to eventually develop I don't know if we necessarily want to call it a league, but we want to develop an environment for women where they can come in and train with us, maybe do some other athletic things with us, but also really to get involved in the community, because some of these girls are going to go on and play professionally, but most of them are going to turn out to be our next leaders in our community. And that's what we're really all about. At the end of the day, I want Jeanette, and then she's a fantastic, she's very, very talented. I'm very impressed with her for a young woman. She's a go-getter, and she gets after it. And I keep saying to myself, I'm like, you know what? When she's my age, she's probably going to be running this place. You know what I mean? And hopefully she'll remember the Savannah spirit, and hopefully she'll buy the team and she'll pick. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, but that's what we're trying to do is we want them to develop their character, because I feel like, and people have done a great job in Savannah, don't get me wrong, but I kind of feel like some of the women's sports are overlooked a little bit. I don't think it's intentional. I just think that it's just sometimes it's not a priority. And see, for me, it's easy. I have 3 daughters. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like if I had boys, I'd probably be focused on boy stuff, but I'm not. I'm focused on women because that's what drives me. So it's just to build a very safe, what am I trying to say? Safe, athletic environment for young women through the sport of soccer, where they can build their character and give back to the community. So that's what we're trying to do.
And you're watching and you're listening to the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're here in the Sound Garden. We're talking Savannah Spirit Soccer with co-owner DJ Spissio, the coach, Chris Davidovic, and, of course, the goalkeeper I just found out, Jeanette Campbell. I'm going to go back to the coach here. Give us a little background. And I know you have coached women's soccer on a college level. Tell us about your background and how'd you wind up in Savannah here, Chris?
Continue on South Carolina 19 South for 3/4 of a mile.
Chris, did you hear me?
Yeah, so while we're trying to get Chris on there, Chris basically has done some college level coaching. He also coached the Atlanta Silverbacks up in Atlanta. Okay. He coached with AFC Lightning down in Peachtree City. Been around the game for a while. He came down here to work with another club. Has done that for a while. And then we got linked up with him. Just around the soccer community, probably the same thing if you're football. All the football coaches all kind of know each other. The soccer people kind of all know each other. So we looked around for a couple different people, and Chris just seemed to fit what we're looking for. He's very motivated. Jeanette can probably attest to that. He's a hard worker. He really presses you hard. But I think in the end, what he's really focused after is getting the best out of the players, and that's really what we want. The girls like him. He really cares about him. He's working super hard to try to make this happen. He lives over in Hilton Head, so he's having to drive over and train with us in Savannah a good bit. But he's just got the right kind of mentality we're looking for. Work hard, but also making sure he's caring for the players. And so, Jeanette, I don't know. What do you think?
So me coming from different clubs in Greenville, so like CISA, and then going to play college sports, I've been exposed to higher levels of intensity with soccer. And so with Chris, I kind of got exposed to a different level of soccer when I came and trained. So now we've bonded in a way, me, our other goalkeeper, Sydney, and Chris, by getting up at 6:30 in the morning to go train at 7. So that kind of speaks for itself in a sense that he is motivated to get us better. He is willing to, sacrifice the early mornings of his day that most people aren't up to come train college women and other high schoolers and people who are wanting to improve their game. So I think that he has a way of, in a way, as a joke, to preach to girls. Like, he is very strong spoken. He knows how to tell you what you need to know in order to grow as a person and grow as a leader and grow as a player. So I think he's a really good fit for our league, our team, and especially because he's from Hilton Head, he's around Savannah, and he knows the environment, the people, and how to promote Savannah Spirit in itself.
Jeanette, what I was going to ask you was, what are you most looking forward to in this development time, between as you prep for your next college season? What are you most looking forward to in your development phase of getting to play a totally different group than what you play with the college girls from probably different areas, different places? What are you most looking forward to in your development with the Savannah Spirit?
Like DJ said, it's a leadership, it's a women-driven environment. So for me, like, yes, there is soccer goals. There's to, get better to start for my college team at Anderson, but also the big thing is I'm living with a host family with a 13-year-old girl. I'm a triplet at home, so I've grown up sharing my entire life. So I've never had younger siblings. So for me, I'm, trying to get to know her and spend time with my host family and, grow a deeper bond in Savannah. And so with my 13-year-old, she's just kind of opened my eyes a lot to a lot of different things. And, we can be silly at home and we can also play on the field. So job situation wise is I'm trying to get promote myself into the workforce and be able to be a professional, like, woman into a man dominant job. So being a lawyer, just learning the disciplines of going to work every single day after, a training session, or being able to present myself and do the best I can do in everything that I apply myself. So it's almost like a 3-part role. It's like you can develop in so many different ways, rather if it's soccer or if it's in the workforce or, creating a new family home. So Savannah has, in a matter of me coming last Sunday, it's been a new home for me. My host family is like a new family to me. So it's been amazing.
Well, it's got to be special that you got someone to take you in. Are a lot of the players DJ from out of town, or do we have a lot of players from it?
Yeah, so most of our players are from the local area, Savannah, Hilton Head. We've even got some a little bit south out in Effingham County. What our model is, and what this league's model is to try to connect players with programs that are, one on sports. So Jeanette is an example. We hope to do more of that in the future. Coach Griffin, to kind of get back to your question, what I see in the 5-year period is I want people to seek us out to try to have their kids to come down here to play developmental soccer for the summer. So, for example, Jeanette, she's trying to improve her college game, right? And so if we have a good reputation down here, let's say I'll pick a school, say, hey, so-and-so from Anderson, why don't you go down to Savannah for the summer and play soccer and try to improve your game so you can compete to be on the number, on the starting squad. Oh, by the way, they can also put you up with host families. So we've been very lucky. I mean, Sue Upchurch is one of our good supporters. She's Jeanette's host family. We hope to do more of that. We've had other families that were willing to do it as well. So going forward, we want Savannah to be a place where people seek us out to come live for us for the summer, play soccer, build leadership characteristics, and maybe even some go on to play professionally. We'll see what happens.
And I just think that it's like a really good environment. And for me, my school and my morals, it's like coming from a Christian background, is that for me, I can influence with faith, but I can also influence through soccer. So with, having a 13-year-old at home, we can grow together as metaphorical or now sisters, and we can grow in faith, we can grow hanging out and doing whatever. So for me, I think that it's just an opportunity that doesn't need to be missed. So for people out of state, rather for me, like South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, anywhere, it doesn't have to be just community-based, that we can just grow as a program statewide.
I know if you get a lot of young ladies like this, DJ, you're going to have an unbelievable program. Quick question. How'd you get that logo? That logo is pretty cool. And how'd you come up with the spirit?
Okay, great. So logo, I'll attribute that to Josh McIntosh, our co-owner. He's not on the line right now, but he's kind of our little graphics guy. Here's the thing about the spirit. You look around Savannah, and it's a lot of things to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, we all have a very strong spirit. So my question to you, Carl, is what's your spirit? Coach Griffin, what's your spirit? How do you show your spirit, Jeanette? And that's what we want it to be. We want the spirit to be what you want it to be, because Savannah has a strong spirit, right? And that's what we're trying to bring to the area. It's a little bit of a ghost-looking thing, but it's kind of like this: is we see no boundaries. We see no lines. We see no differences, because we all have the same spirit. What brings you to the spirit is your spirit. You know what I mean? And so, and Savannah's got a strong one. I mean, we've been through a lot here in the last few months. I mean, geez, we don't even really want to talk about it as much, but that's not the point. The point is bring us your spirit. You know what I mean? Show us your spirit, because the spirit is rising, and that's what we want people to think about. We want to be positive. We want to be engaged. Jeanette's one of our future leaders, and I've got at least 39 more of those just like that, and we want them to have a strong spirit. And so that's kind of where we're going with it.
And I think the Savannah spirit is that our logo gives us a look to where people, it's not common. It's not like a little emblem that everyone's seen before. It makes people ask you, say, oh, why is, a little Pac-Man on your shirt? Like, can you just give me the story? So I think, especially me not coming from Savannah, people don't know what it is. It's like I could be in a supermarket, I could be at school, I could be in a different state, and people are like, tell me the story. So it gives an outlook to say, this is what we're about. This is what our motive is this is how we're going to influence our state. So I think that it just gives the logo in itself gives a story.
Well, DJ, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you reaching out to me. Jeanette, great meeting you. Sound like a young, great lady, a leader for all the young soccer players, female soccer players we have in this community. And once again, give them the specifics for next Saturday, DJ.
Yeah, great. So first of all, I want to say thanks to our title sponsor, Chatham Orthopedics. They've been great. Dr. JT Prather, a wonderful guy, and Karen Lee over there. We're going to play the Savannah Spirit will play South Carolina United at 5:30 and 7:30 on Saturday, the 27th of June at Benedictine Military School. Admission is free. Donations will be accepted for Camp Sunshine. Okay, so again, Saturday, June 27th, 5:30 and 7:30 at Benedictine Military School. Admission is free, and we're taking donations for Camp Sunshine. So we look forward to seeing you. Carl, thanks so much for giving us this time. Coach Griffin, I love hearing what you have to say, and thanks for all your support and talent. And Jeanette, thanks for taking your time to come on the call with us.
And thanks.
Well, I tell you, we'll get your head coach back on when he can get connected, and we'll talk a little bit more soccer specific. Talk about formations. Yeah. Talk about those soccer specific things. We'll get him back on and do that.
Super.
And so handles, if you guys are interested in keeping up with Savannah Spirit, our Instagram is FC Savannah Spirit, and our Twitter is Sav Spirit South SC. So just keep following us and see what's going on this summer.
I appreciate you guys coming on. Once again, DJ, anytime you got something, just give me a call. And I love to promote this more. That's what this show's all about. It's all local all the time.
Carl, thanks. Coach Griffin, thanks. Drive safe. And hope to see you guys next Saturday at BC at 5:30 and 7:30.
You got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Well, I know you're headed over to your baseball game, but just another local team that's trying to do good and trying to make a difference in our youth's lives, right, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, great vision that DJ has. It's not just soccer's just going to be, their platform. Jeanette, strong young woman, has a vision down here. I think they got a great thing going. You bring kids in, they can do internships. I think what DJ's got going is just extraordinary. You bring college kids in, give them something to do during the summer. They can connect with the local. And they're the future leaders of who we have, and I think their platform's tremendous.
I love the logo too. I never thought of it, but now that Jeanette brought it up, the Pac-Man, the symbol. But I thought ghost, spirit, and DJ explained that. That's their motto. What's your spirit? Why do you do things? Spiritual health is a reason why you do things, and that's a great motto. And to help the young female soccer player to see their, what's their spirit, why they doing this. It's a great principle. It's a great concept.
Yeah, man, it's extraordinary. And we'll get the head coach back on. We'll get a little bit more detail of, kind of what his vision for them on the field looks like.
Chris Davidovic, I got it right. I've been practicing that all night, just like I've been practicing Spissio. And he's another Italian guy, you know what I mean? So, once again, Savannah Spirit, Women's Premier Soccer League, next Saturday night, June 27th, 5:30 and 7:30 over at Benedictine Military School. Well, next up, we got to wrap this show. This guy's got to go watch a little baseball. We'll be right back. Once again, you're watching the Coach and AD on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We'll be right back after this. I got to get the right commercial spot here, Chad.
It's all sports all the time. That's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dining and lunch and dinner. But remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Henderson, the Coach's Corner crew, has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts ribs and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in Soundgarden is Departure, the Journey Tribute Band. Tickets are priced between $20 and $35, and you can get tickets online at eventbrite.com. Remember, make it a night at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too, every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are New York.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, sports fans. You're watching the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here in the Sound Garden on the Coach's Corners campus. And once again, it's brought to you by the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Well, Chad, we had a good show. It's going quick, and we just found out Savannah Spirit. I had the wrong date. I was telling everybody Wednesday. It's Saturday, June 27th at Benedictine Military School, 5:30 and 7:30. They'll be playing 2 games against the South Carolina team. So you want to get there and watch some Savannah soccer, women's soccer, go right ahead. And don't forget, Monday night, we got the FCA 5th Annual, Fellowship of Christian Athletes 5th Annual All-Star Game. They're sold out, but I bought 2 tickets to support the cause because that's how they raise their money to keep the area chapter huddle going. So did you come up with a little trivia question?
Well, I was going to say, I was going to ask them if they, this is easy. This is super easy if they know you, Karl. What school in New York did you go to or coach at? I mean, if they've been following the show, all right. I mean, you think that's pretty easy or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy. If you've been following me, you know me, where I went to high school, went to college, came back, and was a coach there, teacher there. Yeah, that'd be a great one. If they can name the school that I went to and that I coached at, which is the same. I went there.
Yeah.
So just let me know. How do we get the answer?
I'll tell them they need to hit you up on Twitter. The first that hits you up on Twitter, you tell which Twitter you want them to go to.
Go to the KD Sports Report Twitter handle and put your answer there. Once again, I'll post it later on. What school did I go to in high school, and what school, the same school, I came back to be the head football coach, girls basketball coach, and baseball coach. Just name that school, and I'd love to give you my 2 free tickets, and I'll put them at will call for you. All right, we're still going to go 3 out the door, okay? It's my turn to grill you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. People don't know where you're from. Well, people do know where you're from now. You went to the University of North Carolina, Pembroke, okay? Yep. Tell me your memorable moment going to UNC Pembroke.
My most memorable moment as a player was my junior year. Was at the time our best year in school history, and we knocked off at then reigning USC Spartanburg was top 5 in the country. They'd been to the NCAA tournament, won it a time or two. They were all international kids. And we had a like tropical storm come through the area. So the field was soaked. It was wet. We played anyhow. And we ended up knocking them off 2-0. And we went on to have the greatest season in school history. And it was just one of the most memorable. I had some great saves. We played just a great team game. No one gave us a chance to win it, and we did. And that kind of catapulted us for the rest of the year, knocking off number 5 USC Spartanburg.
Nice. Okay, and I know you grew up in Gastonia, North Carolina, right?
Yeah, grew up in Gastonia, North Carolina, home of James Worthy, Sleepy Floyd, Chris Lang, North Carolina, Kevin Millwood, who pitched for the Braves. So a lot of great athletes have come out of that area.
And doesn't the Savannah Bananas have a sister team up there in Gastonia?
The Grizzlies.
All right.
Grizzlies.
When you go home, what's your favorite restaurant to go eat at? Bring the family with you.
Oh, there's no doubt. Every time we go home, and you can ask my wife this, every time we go home, there's a barbecue place called Hillbilly's Barbecue. All right? It's in McCampbell, North Carolina, right on the edge of town. McCampbell is known as Christmas Town, USA, because they light up the town. I mean, thousands and thousands of people drive through there. But Hillbilly's Barbecue, not only do they have the best barbecue, they serve the best hush puppies with warm barbecue sauce. Wow. Best thing ever.
I know my wife would like to do that. She loves those hush puppies, okay? All right.
Man.
Last question.
Yep.
If I had to ask your wife, or what was the first place, or where was the first place you guys met, and how did you meet, what would she tell me?
So if you ask my wife where we met, well, the funny thing is we met at UNC Pembroke, and we were there a year or 2 years and never spoke to each other. Nice. She played softball, I played soccer. We never really talked to each other. But really kind of how we connected, she came back as a student assistant for eligibility. I came back as a GA, and that's where we kind of met. She wanted some help with recruiting, so she would come in my office and listen to me call parents and talk to recruits. That's kind of how we hit it off. But the really funny story is I was going out of a restaurant one day in Pembroke. Her and her roommate were coming in, and I was holding the door, all right, and just kind of that connected look, I don't know. I was kind of dumb at the time. And so the funniest thing out of the whole story was her roommate came back to my office and asked me, like, literally, he was like, "Are you stupid or something?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You didn't see that connection at the restaurant between you two?" And I was like, "I guess I just missed it." Well, here we are, 18 years later, 2 kids later, so.
So now you know his favorite moment at UNC Pembroke as a player. What is it, Hillbillies?
Hillbillies Barbecue, man. McCampbell, North Carolina.
Outside of Gastonia, North Carolina, and how he met his wife. And once again, Chad, great show. Got to thank Brad Lane and Jason Rockwell from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the 5th annual baseball game. We will be broadcasting it live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report page, on the Prep Sports Report page, and on Twitter. Monday night, 6:30 is the first pitch. I will kick it off probably about 6 o'clock, 6:15 to get all the early festivities. And I'll be doing it with Chad. He'll be my color guy with Travis Jordan. So it's going to be a lot of fun talking baseball from Grayson Stadium on Monday. Then we'll be back Wednesday night with our Wednesday night live update. And, just a great show. We got to thank BryAnn Pound from Jenkins, 28th Hollis Stacey Award winner. We got to thank John Nelson from Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports. But the online sports guys does a great job with the soccer down here podcast every day from 9 to 11. So once again, great show. And of course, we got to thank the Savannah Spirit, women's premier soccer league, DJ Spizos, the coach, Chris Davidovic, and of course the goalie, Jeanette Campbell. So great show, Chad. Thanks for coming on. And I know you had to get to the baseball game. I added the last guest at the last minute, but once again, it went well and I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We'll see you Monday night at Grayson. It'll be awesome.
All right. Well, make sure you get your baseball terminology straight, okay?
Will do, man. I got it.
All right. Great show. And I got to tell everybody, now I know why Chad sits in this seat most of the time, because the sunlight, the sunlight that lets the sun through, isn't facing him the whole show like it is me, but it's kind of blinding. But you know what? I could see you on the computer right now, Chad. I gotta blind. You know, I gotta block the sun out.
Got you, man. I'm there with you.
All right. So remember, every Saturday morning from 9 to usually about 10:30, it's the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here in the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner. And remember, we're all part of the Coach's Corner. Well, I'm part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network, along with their Wednesday night NASCAR show, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Brandon Baines, Dan Foles, Lawrence Bennett, they do a great job with that show. Check it out every Wednesday night on Facebook Live. And they'll be on the radio tomorrow with a red light, green light, white flag show on ESPN Savannah. Check them out. They do a great job. And remember, until I talk to you on Monday, hit it out of the ballpark. And hopefully next week will be your best week ever. I'll talk to you then. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.